everyone, this is Jerry and welcome back to Onyx Pages. So in this part of my first haul of 2019, I've got two trilogies for you. So I'm going to take you through these 6 books. I will start with the trilogy called A Bone Street Rumba. This is a trilogy that's made up of 3 novels. I believe it's a trilogy. It says series, but I think that there are only 3 books. These are written by Danielle José Older. So I will read the back of each of them. So the first one is called Half Resurrection Blues. Carlos de la Cruz is one of the New York Council of the Dead's most unusual agents, an in-betweener, partially resurrected from a death he barely recalls suffering after a life that's missing from his memory. He thinks he is one of a kind until he encounters other entities walking the fine line between life and death. One in-betweener is a sorcerer. He's summoned a horde of imp-like inks capable of eliminating spirits, and they're spreading through the city like a plague. They've already taken out some of NYCOD's finest, leaving Carlos desperate to stop their master before he opens up the entrada of the underworld, which would destroy the balance between the living and the dead. But in uncovering this man's identity, Carlos confronts the truth of his own life and his death. So that's Half Resurrection Blues. Then we've got Midnight Tango. Carlos de la Cruz straddles the line between the living and the not-so-living. As an agent of the Council of the Dead, he eliminates New York's ghostlier problems. This time, it's a string of gruesome paranormal accidents in Brooklyn's Von King Park that has already taken the lives of several locals and is bound to take more. The incidents in the park have put Kia on edge. When she first met Carlos, he was the weird guy who came to Baba Eddie's Botanica, where she worked, but the closer they've gotten, the more she's seeing the world from Carlos's point of view. In fact, she's starting to see ghosts, and the situation is far more sinister than that, because whatever is bringing out the dead, it's only just getting started. So that is Midnight Taxi Tango, and then the last is Battle Hill Bolero. Trouble is brewing between the Council of the Dead and the ghostly, half-dead spiritual and supernatural community they claim to represent. One too many shady deals have gone down on New York City streets, and those caught in the crossfires have had enough. It's time for the council to be brought down, this time for good. Carlos de la Cruz is used to being caught in the middle of things, both as an in-betweener trapped somewhere between life and death, and as a double agent for the council. But as his friends begin preparing for an unnatural war against the ghosts in charge, he realizes that more is on the line than ever before, not only for the people he cares about, but for every single soul in Brooklyn, alive or otherwise. So that is the first trilogy, and my battery's dying, so I'm gonna go change that, and then I will tell you about the second one. All right, fresh battery. Fresh energy. Okay, so the second trilogy is written by Sharolyn G. Brown. I got the first of the trilogy at the WisCon conference that I went to last year, so this is the trilogy here. The first book is called The Heaviness of Knowing. Roxal's life revolves around one core principle: obey your gods or die. So even though she knows her gods are false, Roxal pretends to be a devoted follower. She ignores that her obedience means helping them invade another planet, and uses her dream travel ability to force a woman on Earth to unknowingly do as they demand. But when her gods begin hunting and executing non-believers, Roxal fears her disloyalty will be discovered. Lauren's a serial overachiever. When a sudden illness stops her in her tracks, she'll try anything to get back to work, even agree to see a hypnotherapist. During her hypnosis sessions, Lauren meets Roxal and discovers that not only are aliens real, but they're planning to conquer Earth, and she's been helping them. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now Lauren must stop this alien invasion that threatens life as she knows it. And Roxal must find a new way to survive now that pretending won't keep her safe. What will be the ultimate price these two women have to pay for knowing the truth? Cool. What I really like about this story, at least the way that it was explained to me, is that there's a romance element between 2 Black women. So I love that. And it seems to be Like if you look at the covers, it seems like that's happening as well. So book 2, and I'm not going to read all of it. Like book 2 is called The Peril of Knowing. And apparently serial overachiever Lauren is never more in her element than when forcing life to bend to her will. As such, she didn't think twice about walking away from everything to join ENL in the fight against the impending alien invasion. So the alien invasion has actually happened now and she's engaged with it, I guess. So that's The Peril of Knowing. And then the third book is called The Sacrifice of Knowing. And this has the two of them on the cover. So Lauren's starting to think about the sacrifices that she's made. There's a war. Roxelle and Lauren need each other more than ever. What will these women be forced to sacrifice to defeat their enemies? So I don't know. It seems pretty cool. The Conscious Dreamer series. I haven't read a lot of like people in outer space stories. So, and certainly not people in outer space where the two main characters are Black women. So I'm looking forward to this. And I love the idea. There's an element of them being able to lucid dream. And I love stories that involve dreaming. So I'm looking forward to this. So those are the two trilogies. One set by Danielle José Older and then the other by Sharolyn G. Brown. I will see you in the next part of this very long 2019 haul.